It's taken a little while, but we finally finished building Bowdens. Come and take a look. Finally finished. We've got all the finishing touches done. Gates are on, driveway's done. All the last little painting details we hadn't finished. All the lights are on, everything is done. It went on a lot longer than I thought it was gonna. Now that we're here, it's worth the wait, worth the extra effort. Really happy with the results. So the build's come to an end. All the little details are done. Everything's finished. Buyers are buying it today. They're signing the paperwork today. So hopefully all done and dusted and we can move on to the next one. Now that you can see it finished as a whole, I thought I'd just take you back a bit, talk about where it started from a little bit and how the build's gone. Since I left school, I've been a builder. The majority of that time has always been working for other people. Always worked for customers, building them nice houses, building them nice extensions, renovating their houses and building them all nice houses. But kind of at the front of my mind forever has been start building my own houses for me, no customers. So this is the start of that basically. This is the first project where I've had the money, I've bought the site, I've sorted the planning, I've built the house, I've sold the house, done it. That's why I made the videos, give people an insight and try and show them the journey you'll go on and what it takes to actually build a house from start to finish and with us to top quality standards. So the beginning part really was the plot. Initial idea was to get the plots, build the first house, try and live in this first house while we built the second house, sell this one or rent it and move into the other one. That plan has changed coming down the line. Various reasons just didn't quite work out and it worked out better to sell this one. So that's how we've ended up coming to the point of sale. Plot originally had planning to basically develop a stable that was on there, which was horrible. Like it would have been a horrible job to try and do. But that all worked out. Luckily, it was a bit of a gamble buying the plot with that stable. But the next phase was building a house, which really is the easy bit for me because I've built lots of houses. It's kind of what I do. It wasn't like building a house for a customer where this time the money was coming from me. So that was a new added element of stress to a job, which I hadn't experienced on this scale before. I chose lads that I've worked with on and off and that I know really well. So like starting with was Tony and Julian in the footings. They're really good lads. They know exactly what they're doing. So really, you know, even though I set the house out and things, I could leave them to it pretty much. I was lucky enough to find Ferg, bricklayer, to give me a hand to get all the masonry done. In hindsight, I'd have been better. I'm in a better position now where I've got 2 brickies on full time. In hindsight, if I could have had 2 good brickies then full time, things would have gone a bit quicker, but I didn't have the lads at the time, so it is what it is. Ferg was brilliant on that. We chose Joey because we've been mates since we were little and we've always worked together, and I know he'd do a good job. There's a lot of trust there, and I was really happy with the work they did. And luckily enough, he's got quite a few lads on, so they managed to bang out all their elements quite quick, which helped push it on. My mate Tommy did the stairs. He's a really good lad that I've known for years, and he does top quality stuff, so I was fully confident using him. He knows everything there is to know about stairs. Also the plasterers, so me and Ferg and Joey pretty much got the shell up and everything done, but then I still wanted to keep that quality inside so you get the top quality finishes. So having Steve and Andy with the plasterers, they did the rendering as well, but they did all the dry lining. Everything they touch is spot on. All the boards they stick on the walls are perfect. All their plastering is just a lovely, tidy job. So Tony and Josh, I've used them on all my projects for painting and decorating probably the last 5 or 6 years. They always do a top quality job, always try and help me out by getting it done to the deadlines and things like that. And they work really hard and they're just a couple of really good lads. So it was nice to get them back on board. Obviously my mate Harry did the roof. Known Harry for years. Again, it's someone that I trust. I know he'll do a good job. He's 2nd generation roofer and he just loves roofing and is really good at it. So plumber I hadn't used before, Jamie, but he's done a really good job. So that was good relief. But you know, it's always a bit scary when it's someone new that you haven't used before. Jace, the electrician, I've used him for years. He's never put a foot wrong really. He always does a good job and we get on well. So I was happy to use him again. There's a couple of other bits and bobs that they weren't quite what I wanted. Still ended up with a good finish and a good job, but just some bits not quite as good as I'd hoped they'd be. So there's, it always pays to use people that you know and you've worked with before. I was where I was at that time and had to make those decisions, and it turned out all right, but just not as smooth as I would have liked in some areas. So that again was another learning curve. So also the windows, the chap called Matt, he's done my windows for the last few years. So it's good to use him again. He always pulls it off, he always gets good windows, does a good job fitting them. Same with the doors. James did the kitchens for me. Lovely job. Again, he's been my kitchen fitter for a few years now, done quite a few jobs together. Really knows what he's doing, down to the detail. Like, I needed a fan cord out that had got either missed by someone or just didn't happen. So he come in one night, last minute, and just cord out that hole and tidied all that out for me and things like that, So it's worth getting people because when you need a favour, they'll give you a hand, and likewise, when they need something, I'll try and help them out. Darren did all the steel work, the garage doors, the gates and the well lid, everything like that. But especially this last week, buyers didn't want to complete on the house until the gates were on and the well lid was on, just the last finishing details, which is fair enough. It had taken a while to kind of get to that point, and then all of a sudden it was right, now. So I really had to put the pressure on Darren a bit, which I don't like doing to people, but I had to put a bit of pressure on him, and he really worked hard and pulled it out of the bag for me last minute. Got the well lid on, got the gates on and working. So Dave, he came and cut the trees down for me. Again, done a lovely job. Even though he's my brother-in-law, he didn't give me any family discount. The reason I started filming all this at the beginning, firstly, it was kind of, I think what I do, is brilliant. I think building houses, obviously I'm a builder, I'm biased, but I think building houses is such an interesting thing. It sounds a bit cheesy, but it's such a special thing to build a house, especially a one-off, special fancy house. It's not just your average semi-detached like in the middle of a street or whatever. It's a proper one-off house that is going to be here for hundreds of years. Maybe not forever, who knows, but it's going to be here for hundreds of years, long past me or my kids. And I think that's a real special thing that's worth documenting. So hopefully it's been interesting. Anyone who's married to a builder or a chippy or anyone in the trade, wherever you go in the car or you're walking down the street or whatever, it's like, oh, I built that. Oh, I worked on that job. I did that job. To actually show someone the work that goes into a full project of building a house, things like that, I think that was, if nothing else, if the videos aren't popular, it was worth it for me to have that documented. The other part of filming it really is so many houses get slung up, and the majority of people, that aren't in the trade, a house is a house, that's bricks, that's stone, that's a house. A lot of people don't get it, and to a lot of people it doesn't matter. So, anybody can chuck up a crappy house and flog it and probably make loads of money. I'm sure cutting corners would have made me a lot more money on this one, but that's not what I'm about. The videos is to show how to build a good house, a top quality house. Finishing pieces, the flooring, the kitchen, the stonework, the roof tiles, everything like that. Even if it inspires one young lad or lady to go out and pick up a trowel and start building, or become a chippy, or get into building houses somehow, then I think it's paid off. I think it is a dying breed. The trades. There's not as many young kids coming into the trades these days, and I think it's a shame because it's a really good job, really rewarding job. So yeah, in terms of the build, really, it pretty much went to plan. I mean, there's a few delays here and there, some of them my fault, some of them other people's faults. That is real life, it does happen. On this job especially, I've just tried to keep my cool about it all, try not to let it stress me out, because there's so much stress going on when you're building a house, when you're funding it, when, everything. Then you're going home, you're trying to be a dad and a husband and whatever, and you've got all this stuff floating around in your head. There's no point getting mad stressed on someone didn't turn up today, and that's pushed him back. It is what it is. As long as you can control most of it and the time frames and things like that, it all kind of runs well. So there's no point getting stressed on the little stuff, which is what I tried not to do. For me, the building of the house, getting it all built was the best bit. Once you come inside and it's the more fiddly finishing off stuff, I don't enjoy that side as much, but it still all went as it was supposed to. So really, as a whole, it's a really successful job. It all went well. For me, the headaches were external, where all the dealing with planning, council, just the constant emails, like double checking, like, oh, have I ordered this? Have I done that? Is so-and-so going to come tell me off because I haven't sent a letter to the right person or whatever, things like that. So for me, it was all the external stuff, the paperwork side of things, which I'm not so sharp on, but you know, I'd like to say that comes with experience, but I've been doing it a long time now and it's not getting any easier. So it's been a really successful job and I'm actually looking forward to the next one. So the viewing process of selling the house, we went on the market. The first people who came through the door fell in love with it, put an offer in same day or the next day, and so we shook hands on that day after. So they're all hunky-dory, they bought their dream home. Solicitors and things like that has been a nightmare that's taken forever to go through. I think we shook hands nearly 4 months ago, and it's only just literally going through this week. So we've got another job that we've just had planning permission granted on another job not far away down the road. So we're getting our teeth into that next. So thanks for watching this video. Hopefully you've watched all the videos leading up to this and then everything will make sense. But if you haven't, go back and watch them. If there's anything you want to know, any questions about the whole process, anything, any of the, you know, the stonework, why I use that stone, how I got planning permission, why I bought this site, why I built this house, blah, blah, blah. Any questions like that, send them over and I'll try and get back to you. But yeah, stay tuned, keep watching our next projects, and thanks for the support. I'll see you on the next one.